right, so we're talking about sports and football. There's a lot of different teams, a lot of different opinions on teams. And in politics, there's a lot of different opinions on laws and parties and policies. So, yeah, why are we always divided? Why is there two parties that are always constantly fighting at each other? Why can't we really do anything productive in it? Like, why are they designed like this?
Interesting history fact here. When George Washington was giving his farewell address from, his first term, I believe, he only had one term, what he said pretty much was that he doesn't want political parties. The man dies, what do you know? We have the Federalist Party and the Democratic Republicans.
Even if, like, George Washington states he doesn't want there to be, like, any political parties, it is always impossible to, like, completely terminate conflict. Like, I guess, like, no matter what, when there's groups of people, there's going to be some sort of conflict or, like, differences between them. But we just got to find ways to deal with it productively and with an open mind rather than just constantly yelling and babbling at each other and not solving shit.
Yeah, I just don't think it's not safe for our environment to have, divide and then, try to pit one side against the other, try to blame this and that. I mean,
exactly. Like, how's it coming to the point where a mask is a political debate?
Everything is politicized. I mean, honestly, gay marriage is even politicized. Abortion's politicized. And these are, things that deal with one person. Whether you have your abortion, whether you have, choose to marry someone that's the same sex as you, think about it. That has no direct effect on you. That's something that involves their life. Like, it does not affect you economically, politically, or anything like that. And what they try to do is, I guess, attach religion to it. But if I'm not mistaken, religion is supposed to be separate from state.
It is,
right?
Yeah.
So isn't that kind of like a paradox? Like, I think that, at the end of the day, these people are selling themselves to donors. Because those people who are giving them money, they're adopting their beliefs and this and that. That's the thing that I have a problem with. Because at that point, you're selling yourself just to get into power. And then you're using that power to pretty much pass these people's rights and all that. So doesn't that grant pretty much the organization that gives you the money more power than a vote? And that's kind of where it becomes problematic. Like, you're selling yourself.
Whether you support Trump or not, like, I guess we can agree that, like, Trump just wasn't a person to unite our country, because I'm not saying Biden is either, but, like, Trump, most of his speeches included him somehow always calling out the liberals or the left or the Democrats or, like, CNN and just bashing them at some point in his speech. But, like, Joe Biden, what I really respect about him is, like, so far each speech he's given, he's like, if you didn't vote for me or whatever, I'm going to serve you. Like, you're an American. I'm here to serve everyone. And I think that's just, like, even if it's going to take a while for our country to realize that we're all American, we all need to get along, the fact that he's, like, kind of reassuring that in each of his speeches, like, hearing that is just, like, a good thing. Like, when you hear Trump giving that speeches, that's what causes more hatred. You're like, oh, he's, like, bashing on the left. Like, fuck this guy. Like, well, fuck the left, all this. Or if you're on the left, you're like, man, he's bashing on our party. Like, fuck this guy. He doesn't support any of our beliefs. But in reality, you just need to have someone that's like, all right, I understand we have some differences. I'm still going to try to serve you as best as possible. I want to just serve the country. And that's good to hear. Like, he's not, like, going to try to divide us and say, oh, like, the rights are giving out all these fake news and shit like that. He's like, you know what? No, we're all Americans. If you have a difference with what I'm doing, I mean, you have your own opinion, but I'm going to just try to serve everyone. And I really respect that about Biden. Whether he's going to be a good president or not, I don't think he's going to be the person to fix our country, but he's definitely a good person in office that'll kind of reassure everyone that we're just American and we got to be united. That's, like, the number one thing we need before we can start fixing anything. Should we do a quick little break and give a little rating on these?
Yeah,
so, yeah, I was trying Shower Beer. It's a Czech-style Pilsner. It's pretty good, honestly, so far. The only reason I grabbed it is because it said shower beer. You always gotta have a shower beer when you're pre-gaming before a move or something. So I just figured it would be the perfect beer for that. I'm not currently showering while I'm drinking it, but it's pretty good. Out of 5 dingleberries, I'll give it a 3.
For my beer, at least, I give it a 4. It is slightly juicy. It's not too juicy. It has that slight juice to it, which is nice, but it's still hoppy and pilsnery, and it's a 7% alcohol percentage, so I don't feel like it's too heavy on me, which is great. I would give it a 4 out of 5.
Rise up and grind, killer. Time to get high with us. Need to, y'all see through. My third eye ain't blind, nigga.